guys! So I have a new review for you guys. I don't do one too often, but I did have the chance to try out one of Wishtrend's new products. Well, this one is from Klairs, and I got it from the Wishtrend website. And I was actually really excited to try this one out because I'm always trying to find a good sunscreen for my face, and I always have problems with the ones I pick. Like, it's too heavy so my makeup doesn't work well over it, or it's too greasy, or dries out my skin. So I've been having a hard time finding the right one, but I actually really like this one. And I wouldn't say it's perfect, but out of all the ones I've tried, this is probably the best one I've ever tried. And the best thing about it is it's cruelty free and it's vegan friendly. Usually I'm not really picky about the products I use. Like, it doesn't have to be vegan friendly, but every time I have the chance to use vegan friendly or cruelty free, it's always nice to have that choice. And so I did go ahead and try this, and this is the Klairs Soft Airy UV Essence, the Everyday Sun Protector. It's supposed to be really lightweight, but it's also really good for UV protection, and it doesn't leave greasiness or doesn't make your skin white either. And another good thing about this one is it's a water-based product. For me, I have oily combination skin, so anything that's oil-based usually bothers my skin or it'll make me like break out and stuff. So the water-based ones are always good. And if you look at it, it's SPF 50 plus PA with 4 pluses. So it's supposed to be really good. I usually hear that the really high ones are actually not just as effective as the lower ones. I believe as long as it has 3 pluses. But anything that works for me, I go more for if it fits my skin more than the actual protection itself, because my cushion also has sunscreen in it. I know it's not enough, but with the two together, I figure it doesn't have to be a high one, but it's always nice to have a high one. So my experience with using this, the first day I actually wasn't too happy with it. It didn't sit well with my makeup, and my makeup really looked kind of heavy at first, and I had a hard time smoothing it out and making it look nice. And by the end of the day, my face was all like greasy and like shifting. The makeup was like shifting and stuff. So I kind of was a bit scared to use it again. But the second day, I made sure to use less. And it turns out the first day I actually used too much. So when you use this, you don't really need a lot. It's best to use on the lower side. And make sure you spread it nice and even and kind of like pat it in at the end. So once I went lighter on this, it actually went pretty well with my makeup. By the end of the day, it did get pretty shiny and kind of oily, but it's probably a combination of this. My face can get a bit oily, plus my cushion is kind of known for making my face more shiny. So with all that together, it's gonna come out shiny at the end of the day. But when I first put it on, I had no problems with that. With or without finishing powder, it still came out really nice. Even with my makeup giving it a little bit of a shine, it wasn't too much. It didn't change from when I don't use it, which that was a good thing because, like I said, my cushion does kind of make my face a bit shiny. So if this made my face greasy, it would have made it a lot worse. But you couldn't tell the difference. And at the end of the day, it's a little more greasy than how it would be if I didn't use it. And usually, like, I notice my makeup in my crease lines a little more, and especially like in this area, it would kind of like start to shift, I guess you could say. It does happen without it as well. It's just a little bit more with this one. So it can affect your makeup depending on the foundation you use. So you have to make sure to take that into consideration if you plan to try and use this. But for the most part, it worked really well. And surprisingly, it worked with mine because mine gives a little shine. But as long as I went on the light side, it worked well under my makeup, which is a plus for me because not all sunscreens do that. Usually it'll make it really heavy, but you can't even tell I have it on with this one unless I accidentally put too much. So I always try to make sure to use like maybe like that much, maybe not even, but I'll put it on my finger first, and then I'll kind of like dab it in the main areas and rub that in. But if there's too much, sometimes I'll have leftovers on my finger and I'll just kind of like rub around like this. And if it's enough and I don't need any more, I just spread it around like my neck and stuff. So I make sure to just put a nice even layer. And because it's an essence one, it's really light. You can't even tell. I wouldn't say it gives any moisture or anything, but it doesn't dry out my skin, which is another plus because I do get like dry patches here and on my nose. So the last sunscreen I used really made my skin dry, but it was really nice underneath my makeup. So that one had the plus and minus to it. This one, I haven't found any negatives to this one yet. I haven't noticed any breakouts. I haven't noticed any more dry skin than I usually do, especially because the season is kind of changing right now. I do have some dry patches, but I haven't noticed the increase since starting using this. I had a breakout before using this, but I haven't noticed any new breakouts since using it. So overall, it works really well for me and I like it. And it's good for all skin types, but it's kind of geared towards the sensitive skin type. So if you're sensitive and you do like breakout with sunscreens and stuff, this is probably a good one to try. Like I said, usually most sunscreens will affect me by either making me break out or making me too dry. But this one was really perfect, so I like it. It's, like I said, it's good for all skin types. It's a pretty decently big bottle too. It's 80 milliliters or 2.7 fluid ounces. And most sunscreens are usually a lot smaller than this, so I'd say it's a lot. And you can use it like all over, anywhere on your body if you wanted to, but I just use it on my face. Most of the time I wear long sleeves, so it doesn't really, I don't really tan much on my arms, but if anything, I'll put some on my hands. And another point with this one is, it says you can actually reapply over your makeup, but I've never actually tried that because I never quite figured out how you put sunscreen over your makeup. I'm assuming you put it on and then you have to kind of touch up your makeup after. I'm not sure. If you guys have ever used sunscreen over your makeup before, let me know how that works because I've actually been really curious about that. But I didn't want to like have to readjust my makeup or anything, so I never did put it over my makeup. But according to the description, it says you can. So for those of you that like to reapply sunscreen over your makeup, then this is a good one for you. So as for the texture for this, it basically looks like any other sunscreen or like lotion or anything. It has like a little bit of a yellow tint to it, I guess, but for the most part it's white. And I use maybe like twice the amount of this for my face and a little bit of it on my neck. So maybe not even double of this, but you just kind of rub it around. And then you can't even tell it's there. It leaves no white residue. There's no like greasiness. Like there might be a little bit of a shine at first, but once it dries, that shine will go away. So usually before putting my foundation on, I'll wait maybe about 10 minutes, if I can, 15. But usually I don't have a whole lot of time to just kind of wait for it to dry before putting on my foundation. But I usually try to wait at least 10 minutes before putting on my foundation. If not, it'd be kind of on the wet side and it kind of wouldn't sit well with my makeup. But as long as I let it dry a bit first, it usually comes out really nice. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys kind of understand how this kind of works. I probably like repeated myself here and there because I tend to like go around in circles. So don't mind that if I'm repeating myself. But I hope you guys kind of could figure out if this would be the right sunscreen for you or not. I'll leave a link down below in the description box for the Wishtrend website as well as for the sunscreen, which is on the Wishtrend website. So if you're interested in it, make sure you go check that out. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye!